I'm Chad Douglas. Our parent company Sinclair Broadcasting and KHQA continue to work for you, keeping you informed on complex political issues facing our nation. We continue our Connect to Congress initiative with Senator Joni Ernst from Iowa. She joins us via satellite in Washington, D.C. Good morning, Senator. I want to talk to you first about a couple of things related to veterans. A 2014 internal audit found more than 120,000 veterans waited at least 90 days before they got an appointment with the veterans hospitals. Some of those never got those appointments. As a combat veteran yourself, what is being done on Capitol Hill to change this?
Right, and this is very disturbing, and we know that we need to continue to work with the VA. So I have introduced a Faster Care for Veterans Act, which was co-sponsored with me by Amy Klobuchar of Minnesota, Democrat from Minnesota. And what this bill would allow is a pilot program for the VA to look at its scheduling system, and it would allow our veterans to self-schedule over the internet. Many hospitals already use technology to do this. I think it's a smart way to get our veterans the appointments they need. So we are very hopeful with this bill. It brings technology into the VA. We need to get our veterans into their appointments. There's no reason that we should have over 120,000 veterans waiting over 90 days to see a provider. So we'll continue working on this bill and provide that for our veterans.
And I'm sure you've heard the statistic about 22 veterans commit suicide every day in this country. Recently, a bill passed both the House and Senate called the Female Veteran Suicide Prevention Act. What can you tell us about this, and do you think President Obama will sign it?
Yes, this is a bill that I authored and co-sponsored with a number of my Democratic friends. And we know that veterans suicide is an issue. We lose about 22 veterans to suicide every day. One is too many. What we have seen with veterans, female veterans, is that they commit suicide at 6 times the rate of females who are not veterans. This is a very disturbing statistic. So what we need to do is very much focus on the programs that work for our female veterans. So that's what this bill will do, is really look at those programs that work for those female veterans, hopefully prevent those suicides, and of course collect the data as well through the VA necessary to develop more effective programs. We must do something about veteran suicide. This is one more initiative that we have in our arsenal.
Finally, I'd like to get your thoughts on federal funding for childhood cancer. I've personally spoken with several families affected by this disease. They tell me things like, for every dollar that's donated to the National Cancer Institute, less than 4 cents goes to research to help children with cancer. They also say very few new drugs have been developed in the last 20 years to fight pediatric cancer. What can be done on the federal level to get this changed?
Well, childhood cancer is devastating to any family that has experienced this. Personal experience, I have a family, a dear friend that also had a child with childhood cancer and fortunately has defeated that cancer. And this is what we have seen since 1975. We have seen about a 53% decrease in childhood mortality due to cancer. That is encouraging, but what we need to do is continue working through our educational institutions, continuing with additional research. Much of that is done in Iowa, and also private partnerships is very important as well. But we need to make sure the funding is available to research efforts. We do see that in the NIH and the 2016 funding, we saw about $32 billion. We believe for 2017 it will be $34 billion. So we are increasing funds available for those types of efforts. But again, very devastating that any of our children should experience this. We need to make sure we're combating it effectively.
Thanks, Senator Joni Ernst. We appreciate your time.